Hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna be doing a movie review today, and that is Batman Forever. Came out in 1995, and it stars Val Kilmer as Batman Bruce Wayne, Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, Jim Carrey as the Riddler, Nicole Kidman as some psychiatrist. What is her name? Chase? I can't remember her name. Something Chase. Chase Meridian, that's her name. Okay. And it's directed by, let's see, Joe Schumacher, which he's done some films that were pretty serious, actually. He's actually a good filmmaker, and he's done films such as The Lost Boys, a few, classic films he's done. And I guess because of the whole, criticism of Batman Returns, Warner Brothers was they were not so confident about, doing another Batman film that could possibly be even darker than Batman Returns, and also it didn't do as well as the first film as far as, the box office. Didn't make as much money. So, because, parents were complaining because of the subject matter, how dark it was, kids were crying in a theater, McDonald's, they had toys, like little Happy Meal toys, for the kids. Apparently they yanked the whole promotion, on, McDonald's. They yanked the whole thing. They canceled the whole thing after, a few weeks, I was told. I remember the promotion of the McDonald, Happy Meal toys and the Batman Returns cup. It was, I have some of that stuff still, but that movie was dark. It wasn't for kids. So that's ultimately what they did. They wanted a more lighter family, Batman, more for kids as well. Not as dark, not as gritty as what Tim Burton was doing. I guess they thought, since Batman Returns didn't do as well, and the criticism it got, they wanted to change things. And Tim Burton wasn't on board with it. Michael Keaton at one point was in negotiations of playing Batman, reprising his role as Batman and Bruce Wayne once again, but he backed out last minute, from what I understand. Just conflict of interest. He didn't like the direction it was going. But Tim Burton stayed on board as a producer of this film. And I'm not quite sure how hands-on he was. I mean, it still has the look of Gotham City, the statues, and the out-of-this-world kind of look to it. But how hands-on he was as far as the production of this film, I'm not quite sure. I do think he was involved somehow with some of this, the way, the direction it was, the certain themes, I think it had a little bit of this touch, a little bit here and there. Maybe it was, a screenwriter, somebody that wrote maybe a rough draft or something, because certain parts in this film has a seriousness to it. And it's one of those films that it bounces around from being campy, silly Saturday morning cartoon type of, you know, brought to life as a live action Batman film, but at the same time, it keeps bouncing around to, silliness, kind of campiness a little bit, to being serious. It keeps bouncing around, so I'm not quite sure what they were trying to make here. I don't think they were. I don't think the people that were involved making this film, they didn't have a clear direction of where they wanted to go with this. It was like they wanted to have serious, things about it. And at times it does have a little bit of a dark mood here and there with the subject matter of, Bruce Wayne having repressed memories about a traumatic experience, him losing his parents, getting killed by, the Joker. And he has all these repressed memories and, falling and seeing the bat, and by seeing that, that's the reason why he ultimately made the decision of becoming a symbol of, a bat, to get revenge and, to put fear out there, injustice. So it was interesting to learn a little bit more about Bruce Wayne and how he created his dual personality, which is Batman, which I think is pretty cool. It was nice to have a storyline where, they got a little more deeper into the character of Bruce Wayne. And I liked, the Chase character, the psychiatrist, his love interest, her, digging a little bit deeper into his psyche. I thought that was pretty cool. And her fascination with Batman, her going back and forth with, is she in love with Batman? Is she in love with Bruce Wayne? She can't decide. It's pretty interesting. I like that aspect of the film. I like when it does get serious, with Bruce Wayne and Chase. Chase is played by Nicole Kidman, which I thought she was pretty good, as a love interest. As a character that was a psychiatrist that would, had this infatuation with Batman. It was interesting. I liked how they introduced Robin in this film. It was a seriousness. I liked how, he was kind of a character that was a little bit, after his parents got killed in the circus, he was a little rough around the edges, but he had like a wit and humor about him, and he wasn't like he was portrayed as, the 60s Robin. They made him a little more serious and more hip and young, and he had a better costume, obviously, because this is the 90s. So I like the way they presented Robin here. That's like the best parts is, learning more about Batman, learning about Robin, and how they come together as partners. It was interesting. And that's the best parts of the film. Now, my issue with the film is the campiness and the neon lights and the, Two-Face being over the top with his acting and, comedic timing, and he just feels like an over-the-top Joker that really isn't that funny. Tommy Lee Jones, great actor, but kind of over the top with his performance as Two-Face. And it's not like he's bad at the role, it's just he's so over the top with his performance. It's like, I don't feel like he's a real villain. I feel like he's just a buffoon dancing around, causing problems. And he's not really, you can't take him seriously because this is more lighter. This is not a film that is dark and gritty and edgy like the first two Tim Burton films with Michael Keaton as Batman. But this is going in a different direction. And the villains, Tommy Lee Jones is a little over the top of his performance. Jim Carrey at times is really good in this film. I think he starts getting a little annoying towards the end of the picture. For the most part, he's good. He's a good Riddler. And I like that part too. I like the whole, Bruce Wayne trying to solve the riddle. He saw a little bit of his detective work, which was cool. But what I don't like mainly is the whole idea of brainwaves and manipulation, and the Riddler trying to become smarter with getting all this information stored in his brain and trying to find out the secret, behind the mystery of who Batman is. Just the concept of that, and I don't know, it's a little too far-fetched, and it makes it kind of campy and silly. And I understand the direction they're trying to go with this film. They're trying to, make it lighter, make it a little more closer to like the comics, make it a little bit, little winks here and there, like the 60s Batman. It's got a little campiness to it. And it makes the film unbalanced. They keep going back and forth. Is this a silly, comic book movie that's made for kids, for family, or is this a serious Batman film? It's not edgy, it's not dark, it's not, I don't think I saw blood in the film at all. I mean, it's definitely a lot different than the first two films. And, I mean, something's, when a film is different when the very opening scene where Batman, Alfred asks Batman, should I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir? And he's like, I'll get drive-through. That's what Batman says to Alfred. I'll get drive-through. You already know that this film is going a different direction. This is more silly. I did like Val Kilmer as Batman and Bruce Wayne. I thought he was decent. I wouldn't say he's as good as Michael Keaton. He brought Michael Keaton did a really fantastic job as far as, making him like this dark, mysterious, kind of almost on the edge kind of Batman. And, Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton's the best Batman, Bruce Wayne, in my opinion. But I thought Val Kilmer, he was respectable, at least. I thought he made an effort. I think everybody makes an effort in their performances. It's just the direction's a lot different. Even Chris O'Donnell, he is pretty good as Robin. I didn't mind him. I didn't mind anybody in this film. Everybody, as far as the actors were pretty good for the script that they had to work with. I think they did well, you know. And it's just one of those films. It's like, I can say it's good as a film, as a standalone. If you don't compare it to Batman or Batman Returns as a standalone film, it's a fun time waster. It's a popcorn flick. You can watch it, be entertained by it, get some enjoyment out of it. I did enjoy a good amount of stuff in this film, actually. The action scenes, I liked that the Batmobile can actually go up a building. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I liked the interactions with Batman and Chase, and Bruce Wayne and Chase. I liked the interactions with, Alfred and, Robin, or Batman and Robin, or Bruce Wayne and Robin. I mean, I like all the interactions, and I think it's fine on its own. I mean, it's one of those films that I can enjoy, and I actually enjoy some of the songs. Actually, they're probably my favorite Batman songs as far as like artists. Like, I like the U2 song, and I like the Seal, song, Kiss from a Rose. They're probably my best songs, as far as what I can think of, as far as like, songs for a movie, as far as like for Batman. I think it's a lot better than the songs that they had for the first two films. That's just my opinion. They're just, I don't know. It's just what I think. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those films. It's not perfect. It has problems as far as performances being over the top, and some of the storyline at times is kind of like kind of wonky, I guess. Kind of, that could be cut out. You don't need that. You don't need brain manipulation and brain waves or whatever the hell they're doing. I mean, it goes a little too far with some of the storyline, but it's definitely a lot brighter and a lot more Commissioner Gordon, I noticed. And Alfred, which was nice to see them more as supporting characters in the second film, because you didn't get to see them a whole lot in the second film as supporting characters. And I've noticed that they used the "I'm Batman." They used that twice in this film. Robin said it, and the Riddler said it at the end of the film. So they're trying to borrow some things that, a little nostalgia here and there. They actually borrowed a line from the 60s Batman TV show when Robin said, "Holy rusted metal, Batman." Batman's like, "What?" And that's exactly what Robin would say in the 60s TV show, the campy Adam West Batman. He would say something, "Holy Batman," or something, So, little winks here and there. The neon lights is a little overboard. I don't mind some of the visuals. It's a good looking film, but at times it's like you're put off by certain little things. It's definitely not as good as Batman or Batman Returns, but as a standalone, I thought it was entertaining and a fun popcorn flick. That's my opinion on Batman Forever. And hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you guys have a good day. Take it easy.